Hey guys, welcome to PCMINR.com and you're watching this video on classification of polynomials by Sonal Gupta. And before we start with the classification of polynomials, we should understand the basic term that is polynomials. What do we mean by a polynomial? How do you recognize a polynomial? So I would say a polynomial is an algebraic expression which is consisting of one or maybe more terms such that the power of the variable term is a whole number. So you have to insist on two things. One, that it may be consisting of one or more terms. So it can be a single term also and more than that. And the power of the variable term is a whole number. I'll explain this to you with the help of an example. So I have my first example here which says x cube minus 4x square plus 7x minus 2. So is this a polynomial? Yes. First thing that tells us is that it is consisting of 4 terms and there are variables and the constant terms. As you see, the term containing x, because x can give you any value, you can substitute the value as 0, 1, 2, 3 and so the total expression will give you a different value. Hence we call it a variable. So these are the variable terms, x cube, x square and x, and 2 is the constant term. And when you look carefully, you'll find that the powers of these variable terms are whole numbers. It's 3, 2 and 1. Therefore, yes, we will say this term or the given algebraic expression is a polynomial. Similarly, you can see x square minus x plus 6. This is also we can say an algebraic expression which contains 3 terms with the variables and the power of the variable is again a whole number everywhere. It's 3 and 1, it's 2 and 1. Therefore, we can say that this expression, algebraic expression, is also a polynomial. Then we come to x plus 1. Again, you have 2 terms, x and 1. This is a variable term, this is a constant term, and the power of the variable is 1, which is again a whole number. So I would say this is also a polynomial. And when you look at the terms 2, minus 6, 9, 11, 12, any number alone, it is also a polynomial because you can consider a single constant term to be multiplying with x to the power 0, right? So 2 means it can be written as 2 into x to the power 0 because anything raised to the power 0 is 1. And we have already done this in laws of exponents. So 2 into x raised to the power 0, which is again a whole number. So this is also a polynomial. So any number will also be considered as a polynomial. But now when you look at the term x plus 1 upon x, now this is an algebraic expression, right? But the power of the variable term here 1 upon x is x raised to the power minus 1. And since minus 1 is not a whole number, so one variable term is there which is having a power or an exponent which is not a whole number. So this expression x plus 1 upon x, I would say, is not a polynomial, right? And as you can see, the next expression is square root x plus 5. So the power of x is 1 upon 2, which is again not a fraction. Therefore, I would say this is also not a polynomial. So I hope you can understand now that to identify whether a given algebraic expression is a polynomial or not, you just look at the powers of the variables. If it is a whole number, it's a polynomial. If it's not a whole number, it's not a polynomial. Now we shall see the classification of polynomials. It can be done on the basis of either the number of variables or the number of terms or the highest power of the variable. So I have here the first one as the number of variables. When I say number of variables, we check for the terms containing x, y and z. So if I have a polynomial like 4x square minus 3x plus 7, then this will be a polynomial with one variable. If I have a term like x plus y minus 2, now this is a polynomial with two variables. There are sometimes even three variables. I have say x raised to the power 10 plus y cube plus, so I have another one z raised to power 20, so minus 7. So here you can see there are three variables x, y and z. Therefore, this polynomial is a polynomial with three variables. So this is one variable, two variables and three variables. So when we look at this second classification, which is based on the number of terms. So how many terms are there in a polynomial? Based on that, we can classify it into, you can give different names, like you have 2x, it's just one term, 5x square, it's just one term, y alone, a4 alone. So such polynomials are known as monomials, right? So this is a polynomial with a single term, so we call it as monomial. As you know, mono is the word related to one, right? And when we have two terms in the polynomial, like I have x plus 1 or y cube minus 1 or z square plus 5. So all these polynomials, they contain two terms. So we give them the name as binomial, because you know binomial, bi is the word related to 2. So binomial is for two terms. And when we have three terms in the polynomial, so like I have here x plus x square plus 7 or y cube plus y square minus 5y. So these are three terms in each polynomial. So we call it as a trinomial. Therefore, trinomial is a polynomial with three terms. So this was the classification based on the number of terms as monomial, binomial, trinomial and so on. And the last classification is based on the highest power of the variable. So if you have the terms like I have here 4x plus 3 or 2y minus 6 or t or z or anything where the highest power of the variable is 1, then that is known as a linear polynomial. So linear polynomial with the degree of the highest degree of the variable is 1. So you can see here the highest power is 1. So this is the first polynomial, that is linear polynomial based on the highest power of the variable as 1. Similarly, if the highest power or the highest degree of the variable is 2, we call it as a quadratic polynomial. Like I have here 3x square plus 4 or 5y square minus 2y plus 1. These are quadratic polynomials because the highest power of the variable is 2. And as the name suggests, cubic polynomial, the highest power of the polynomial of the terms, variable terms will be 3. So I have 2x cube plus 1, 6x cube plus x square plus x plus 7. So these are cubic polynomials where the highest degree is 3. So we have three classifications of the polynomials. And in the end, I just want to review once that any algebraic expression with a whole number exponent of the variable term is a polynomial. And if the exponent of the variable is not a whole number, then it is not a polynomial. If you have single term in a polynomial, it's known as monomial. If you have two terms, it's a binomial. If you have three terms, it's a trinomial. And based on the degree we have, if the highest degree of the variable is 1, it's a linear polynomial. If you have highest degree as 2, it's a quadratic polynomial. And if you have the highest degree as 3, it's a cubic polynomial. In the end, I would say if you find the video helpful, please subscribe, like and share. In the next module, we shall discuss the zeros of a polynomial. Thank you for watching.